and welcome to Crafting with You, where I bring you a wide range of crafting tutorials and ideas. Today I'm going to show you how to make these ribbon leis adorned with money roses. This is a great gift for any occasion and not only beautiful, but it's also very practical. So if you want to learn how to make this money lei, follow along with me. Let's get started. These are the main materials you'll need. Ribbon in 2 different colors at 5/8 of an inch wide. I like to use double face satin ribbon. And when you say double face, is you see that sheen? It's on both sides. So you never have to worry about, oh, one side is dull and the other side isn't. You have the shiny side on both sides. Then you're going to need some fishing wire. I know fishing wire is really thin, so if you have trouble with dexterity in your hands, you can also use thin ribbon. This is 3/8 ribbon that I have, but you can also use an 1/8 of an inch ribbon. Both of them work fine. Transparent tape, and you need paper currency, 5 of them to make 1 rose. This is optional, but if you'd like to incorporate flowers, you can get some floral stems from your local craft store and add them into your lei also. Let's start with the rose. I do have a separate video that gives you step-by-step instructions on how to make these, so I'll link that in the description box. For time's sake, I'm just going to give you highlights of what's different about this rose when you apply it to the ribbon lei. So take your 5 currencies, tape them side by side, and then we're going to fold the whole thing in half across all 5 bills. Starting on the right side, we're going to fold this piece down, making sure to leave about a 1/2 inch on the bottom right there. This is going to become our stem. Turn this around to the side, fold this piece right in half, and then fold it in half again. We're going to turn it right back around and then grab our fishing wire. You're going to get about 10 to 11 inches and then fold the wire in half, and we're going to loop it around the currency. Once you have it looped, we're going to tie a knot right at that base. And this is where I say, if you are having trouble with dexterity in your fingers, it might be better to go with the ribbon, because even me, I don't have problems, but it was really hard to work with it once in a while just because it's so fine and it's a little stiff, and it's not as malleable as a ribbon. Once you have that knot tied, go ahead and start making your rose. So make sure you grab the fishing wire right at that base right there and keep it down there with your finger just so that it doesn't move around. Now, of course, fold back and then roll at a 45-degree angle, fold back and keep rolling. So you're going to keep repeating this, making sure that the wire is down there until you are done creating your rose. I am done creating my rose. I'm going to turn this upside down, making sure that the fishing wire is still pulling out of there. And I'm going to fold back this last piece, get a little piece of transparent tape, and I'm going to secure that to the rest of the flower. For this piece right here, which is the stem, we're going to fold that down and get a piece of transparent tape, and we're also going to secure that portion down to the flower, and this gives us a nice flat base to attach it to the ribbon lei. So this is the completed flower. You can do a little bit of editing if you want to fluff up certain parts of it. If you're going to go for the ribbon option, this is what it's going to look like. You will be able to see the ribbon on the rose, but it's not that bad, so please go with whichever one is more comfortable for you. Let's move on to making the lei. This will be a 2-colored lei, so please choose 2 colors of your liking. Normally, I go with, if it's a student, the school colors. That usually works out really well. This is a 2-colored lei, but we're also going to be doing it as a 2-layered lei. That means we're going to be stacking 2 ribbons on top of each other. And the reason for that is because these roses are pretty weighty, so we need a real sturdy base to make sure that these roses don't pull down the lei and make it droop really badly. A standard lei is 48 inches long, which means we need 6 yards of each color. Once you have your 2 colors, make sure that you are stacking 2 layers on top of each other. So here's my white, and then I'm going to layer my red. After you have that, layer all 4 of them into a little stack like this. Measure out about 6 inches, and then you're going to tie a knot at that point. When you tie your knot, make sure it's not super tight, because at the end, we're going to untie that knot so that we can close off the lei into a circle. Now separate out your colors again, the white on top of the white and the red on top of the red. We're going to loop these, so make like bunny ears with both colors. So go ahead and do the red, make a little loop, and then do the same thing with the white. When your loops are made, thread the left loop through the right loop. So for me, I'm threading the white through the red. And then when you have that through, you're going to bring the red ribbon down and make sure that it's snug across the white ribbon. Once that's done, we're going to loop the red ribbon, and then you're going to thread it through the white loop right there. Keep a hold of all the ribbon together and then pull the right ribbon down so it's snug against the red. It's going to look a little wonky in the beginning. It always does, but it's fine. This part you're not going to really be able to see. So again, now you're going to alternate, loop the white ribbon and thread it through the red. Keep a hold of it. And then you're going to pull the red ribbon down snugly against the white ribbon. Now, the rest of the lei, it's just a repeat of this back and forth of the alternating two colors. Take the red, thread it through the white right here, pull down once you get a hold of that. Now, sometimes you're wondering, okay, how far do I go? The tension is really important here, because if you do it too loose or too tight, it skews the whole look of the ribbon. So for example, when I'm putting this one through right here, if I leave it too loose, the whole thing's going to kind of fall apart and slip. But if I do it too tight, like this, it's going to skew the whole look of it. So you're pretty much going to pull it down the width of the ribbon. You'll feel a little tug when you get there, and that's when you know to stop. So go ahead and just keep doing this. This is a great project to do in front of the TV because it's pretty mindless. You just make a loop, you thread it through, and you bring the ribbon tied around it. So keep doing this until you reach the length that you want. I am done, and my lei now measures 48 inches in length. To finish this off, we're going to grab the ribbon right here, measure out about 6 to 8 inches, and we're going to cut both ribbons. Take that end piece and thread it through the red ribbon right there, that loop. Pull it down around it, and then we're also going to cut the red ribbon to the same length as the white one. Now we're going to move on to that beginning knot that we had. Undo that knot very carefully, hold it there, get to the end, at the very end that we cut those two ribbons, and this is where we're going to knot all of these together. We're going to do a double knot, so stack those ribbons on top of each other, do one knot right there, and then make one more knot. If you want to do a third knot, you can, but it won't look very pretty. So at this point, after the double knot, what you can do is add more ribbon and make a bow there, or you can take a needle and thread and put a couple of stitches in there, and it should hold it pretty securely. Here's my lei and the flowers that I want to put on them. I suggest you don't put anything on the first 8 inches after the knot, because this is the back and the side of the neck and no one can see it and it probably just gets in the way. Just take a flower, place it. I'm placing mine at like the 8-inch mark, and then I'm just going to lay out what kind of design I think I want to do. Maybe place it here, take another one, place it right here. maybe another one right here. I'm going to try to do 5 on each side. If you want to put flowers, this is the time where you want to take these off the stems and maybe decide, where do I want to put it within this frame also. Including the year on a lei is very popular thing to do. I've got this 2024 right here that I may place on it. And a lot of the times the numbers are placed on the lei on the opposite side of the flowers. But these flowers are pretty weighty. So if you put all the flowers on one side and then the year on the direct opposite side, just like this. So say you lay them out like this. These numbers are made of probably like just cardstock. They're really light, the flowers are heavy. So what's going to happen is the whole thing is going to probably fall to the side of where the flowers are. So maybe a good practice would be maybe to put the numbers on the bottom. I still haven't decided what I want to do with my lei yet. To attach the roses to the lei, we're going to take one, flip it to the back side, and you have your 2 ribbon or fishing wire right there. We're going to pick the spot that you want to attach it, take one side, and we're going to thread this through the lei. So pick your point and go through right there. Bring out the fishing wire to the back. And then take your other side of the fishing wire. And we're going to thread it through the lei also, right at that opposite point. If you can't see the opening, you just kind of pull it apart really gently and then thread that through. Now flip the lei onto the back side, grab those 2 wires, and we're going to do a double knot. You can also do a triple knot or a quadruple knot. You want to make sure this is really secure since this is currency. You don't want this falling off your lei. When you are done tying your knots, just take some scissors and snip off the ends. Now that you know how to secure your rose to the lei, go ahead and secure the rest of your roses. Here are my roses all attached to the lei. I did a bit of a zigzag pattern as you can see here, and I did this so that I could put the floral accents right in between. I thought it'd give it a fuller look. If you'd like to put your roses in a zigzag pattern also, instead of attaching it to the middle of the lei, we're going to attach it to the ribbons located at either ends of the lei. So like right here, and right here, and right here. I'm now going to add my floral accents. Take your flowers and just first lay them out where you think you're going to put each one. Like I'm going to put the bigger flowers in the beginning, at the end, and a couple in the middle, and then I'm going to use these little flowers to fill in any bare spaces. To attach the flowers, I'm going to be using a glue gun. I'm going to carefully glue them to the lei. And here's the finished lei. I added all the flowers, the floral accents, and I also added some of the little leaves that came with the floral stems just to give it a pop of color. I'm really happy with the way this turned out, and I think it looks very nice and expensive. I didn't add the numbers in yet. I don't know if I want to add them in, so I'll make a decision at a later time. I love this concept of a money lei only because it can last for as long as the person wants to keep it. It will not shrivel up and die like a flower lei does. These are great not only for graduation, but a Mother's Day, a wedding, a bridal shower, pretty much any occasion this lei is great for. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Crafting with You.